Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. In the history of China's Ming Dynasty, there were two highly controversial organizations, Jinyiwei, Embroidered Uniform Guard, and the Dongchang, Eastern Depot, and Xichang, Western Depot. With their immense power and harsh methods, these institutions became dreaded by the public, whether common folk or high-ranking officials. When faced with the Jinyiwei and the Dongchang and Xichang, everyone inevitably felt a sense of coldness, even fear, often unable to express their anger. However, beyond these terrifying institutions, there existed another organization, the Danei Hangchang, Grand Secretariat. The name of the Danei Hangchang was so formidable that even the Jinyiwei and the Dongchang and Xichang had to avoid it. According to relevant historians, during the early years of the Ming Dynasty, Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang, the founding emperor, established the Jinyiwei, thus beginning the depot guard system in the Ming. The original intention behind the creation of the Jinyiwei was to consolidate his rule and prevent any potential threats to his power. While this measure did strengthen centralization to some extent, it inevitably led to tensions between the emperor's authority and the civil and military officials. It is said that the establishment of the Jinyiwei had an important purpose, to prevent both civil officials and military generals from accumulating excessive power, to avoid any threats to the emperor's rule. To achieve this, Zhu Yuanzhang selected his trusted bodyguards and carefully picked many young men from prominent families to form the Jinyiwei. Because it was an institution personally founded by the emperor, the Jinyiwei initially held a high level of trust and power, quickly becoming a special organization responsible for monitoring the people, investigating national affairs, and gathering intelligence. Historical records indicate that the selection of Jinyiwei members was extremely strict. Not only did they need to possess strong physical qualities, but they also had to demonstrate absolute loyalty. Their main duties were not only to protect the emperor's safety but also to gather intelligence, investigate cases, suppress uprisings, and maintain social order. Due to the Jinyiwei's special position and immense power, its members had a significant impact on the court's decisions and the lives of the people. The establishment of the Jinyiwei was historically significant. As the emperor's personal guards, the Jinyiwei enjoyed privileged treatment while also taking on critical tasks such as investigating rebellions, supervising officials, and protecting the royal family's interests. It was not only a product of a unique period in the Ming Dynasty's history but also a precursor to similar power structures in Chinese history. However, as time passed, the power of the Jinyiwei began to expand and, to some extent, abuse its authority. Some historical records document how members of the Jinyiwei started to use their special status to suppress dissent, oppress political rivals, and instill fear through intimidation, repression, and persecution. As a result, more and more people began to feel the threat and injustice of the Jinyiwei, and even high-ranking officials in the court started to fear it. To effectively balance the power of the Jinyiwei and prevent its excessive expansion, the Ming court established two new institutions later on, the Dongchang and the Xichang. The purpose of this move was to maintain a balance of power between the emperor and local forces by creating a system of mutual checks. These two organizations were granted similar powers to those of the Jinyiwei, with their main tasks being to investigate, monitor, and eliminate forces that might threaten the imperial rule. The main duties of the Dongchang were internal oversight, focusing on investigating corruption, rebellion, and conspiracy among officials, while also collecting intelligence. On the other hand, the Xichang concentrated on foreign intelligence gathering and handling conflicts and negotiations with foreign powers. By establishing the Dongchang and Xichang, the rulers of the Ming Dynasty hoped to introduce a system of checks and balances within the power structure to prevent the Jinyiwei from gaining too much power. Their existence did indeed, to some extent, weakened the influence of the Jinyiwei, and provided the emperor with effective means to handle potential threats and consolidate imperial authority. It is worth mentioning that, compared to the Jinyiwei, Dongchang, and Xichang, the relatively short-lived Danei Hangchang, Grand Secretariat, stands out as even more remarkable. Especially after the reign of Emperor Zhu Hozhao, the Jiajing Emperor, the political landscape of the court underwent a massive shift. At that time, the political atmosphere in the court was relatively relaxed. The Yushi, censors, and Yinguan, counselors, dared to speak out and offer frank advice. In fact, the Niguan, cabinet, even dared to return imperial edicts issued by the emperor on several occasions. The sudden rise of the cabinet during this period marked a fundamental shift in the Ming Dynasty's political structure. The cabinet gradually became the central decision-making body. While the influence of powerful institutions such as the Jinyiwei, Dongchang, and Xichang began to diminish. The cabinet members, mostly experienced officials from the previous dynasty, possessed great political wisdom and were able to effectively guide and control the court's decisions. However, Zhu Hozhao was dissatisfied with the rising power of the cabinet. Feeling that he had lost control over organizations like the Dongchang, Xichang, and Jinyiwei. In order to reshape the power structure, he decided to establish a new institution, the Danei Hangchang, and appointed his trusted eunuch Lu Jin to lead it. Therefore, the establishment of the Danei Hangchang not only created an independent power system but also surpassed the functions of the Dongchang, Xichang, and Jinyiwei, making it a special institution that wielded nearly the highest level of authority. Additionally, similar to the Dongchang and Xichang, the main duties of the Danei Hangchang also involved monitoring court officials and controlling the power dynamics. However, within just 5 years, the Danei Hangchang nearly completely stripped the cabinet of its authority, becoming the central political force. Even the major affairs of the court were often first reported by the eunuch Lu Jin to the emperor, bypassing the cabinet. The phrase, "without going through the cabinet," first report to Lu Jin became a defining feature of this period. The power of the Danei Hangchang gradually monopolized court politics, having a profound impact on political decision-making. The rise of the Danei Hangchang also allowed Zhu Hozhao to bypass the cabinet and directly control state affairs. This shift greatly weakened the position of the cabinet and fundamentally altered the court's power structure. Lu Jin, as the head of the Danei Hangchang, controlled enormous power and became a key figure in the court's decision-making. However, the existence of the Danei Hangchang also brought serious side effects. Due to its highly centralized power, political corruption and abuse of power became rampant. Lu Jin and other key members of the Danei Hangchang exploited this new power system for large-scale financial gain and oppression, exacerbating the corruption within the Ming court and leading to a decay in governance. These issues ultimately had a negative impact on the stability of the Ming dynasty, laying the groundwork for the collapse of the imperial court. According to relevant historians, the depot guard system during the Ming dynasty did indeed strengthen the emperor's central authority to some extent and help the rulers effectively control and monitor the country. However, the excessive abuse of power ultimately became the root cause of the Ming dynasty's decline. Although the original purpose of the depot guard system was to stabilize imperial power, over time, the system gradually lost its intended checks and balances. In particular, the abuse of power by the Danei Hangchang exceeded the limits of law and morality, severely undermining the foundation of the entire dynasty. This period in history provides us with a profound lesson: power must be effectively restrained and supervised, or its abuse will lead to disaster for both the rulers and the nation. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.